Miss Brandt, could you call Tony Reeves and tell him I'll be over in about 30 minutes? And that's when the explosion affected your hearing. Yes, I was already getting great footage of the explosion, but then the police officers pushed me out of the way and I dropped my phone in the process. Still haven't found my phone. I suppose that's good. What? I mean, they saved your life. They were getting you and your fellow co-workers out of the building and away from the collapsing skyscraper. I didn't get footage of the building coming down. I missed the money shot. The money shot makes everything. Well, you can still find videos on the internet and other news stations. Yeah, shaky cam, wide shots, but nothing as good as right where I was standing. I mean, shots like that makes or breaks a potential viral hit. It's already going to get a lot of views, but a shot that close? You say you can find the video somewhere else, but that's not really the point. Well, actually, that is the point. Someone else got the shot. I suppose it's better that someone got the shot as opposed to any shot not existing at all, but I digress. I snuck away and I tried to look for my phone, or really any camera I could use to capture the aftermath. Why didn't you use someone else's phone, or ask someone for their phone? It was an emergency situation. Everyone was using their phones to call their wives, husbands, girlfriends, boyfriends, family, etc. Can you tell us why capturing this was so important to you? Why would you risk serious injury running around in rubble? Because so many things happen in our lives that are par for the course. So many days and moments pass us by and are forgotten. But then, something weird, funny, or terrible happens. When some of those things happen, I want to record it, keep it, and share it. In today's world, we have the means to archive pure knowledge so that it can be shared with others all around the world. That's what I want to be a part of. After all that's happened in this city in the last couple of years, this night in particular was off. I'll admit, not as spectacular as the space shuttle crashing into the bridge, but still off nonetheless. When the building went down, I knew it wasn't over. This next question is very, very important, and it's probably the main meat of this interview. I want you to answer it as openly and as honestly as you possibly can. Okay, yeah, ask away. What is my concern, and the concern of our readers, is what exactly happened between Spider-Man and the Green Goblin. Did you see the footage? The police did. Everyone else did. Well, you see, that's actually part of the problem. Can I use your computer? Yeah, sure. How come we didn't do this interview by webcam exactly? My boss doesn't know how any of that stuff works, but we're working on that. Okay, here we go. The sound doesn't work. The video isn't too clear either. I can see a blue and red blur, a green blur, and a much larger black and white blur. But I don't really understand what it all means. For your boasting of digital media storage, file sharing, and whatnot, when I want to get a clear picture, so to speak, I get this. What I want to know is what wasn't captured on tape. Not what was seen by a camera lens, but by your very eyes. Well, Mr. Yerk, seeing is one thing, believing is another, but hearing is also another. All I could hear was ringing. I could kind of tell if one sound was louder than another, but I couldn't hear distinct words yet. My heart jumped when I finally found a camera, and one that worked. Shouldn't you be using a recorder? What century is the Daily Bugle operating in? What happened after you found the camera? I turned it on and I walked through the rubble trying to film the aftermath of the collapse. So, you just stumbled upon Brock, Leaford, and Spider-Man? No, I heard a scream. It was just one yell, and I couldn't really make out what it actually was. I made my way to where I thought the sound came from. I had to hurry, because the battery life was running low. I couldn't get much closer because of all the huge amounts of debris obstructing a safe passage to them, so I just filmed what I saw. I tried zooming in, but of course the focus was blurry, and you don't want to hear about that. Even if I was a decent mouth reader, I wouldn't know what they were saying. They were both wearing masks. Spider-Man took the sword that was in the Green Goblin's hand, and he held it in the air for a couple of seconds. And then he put it back down. I had no idea what the exchange was. It was just muffled. Actually, when he had it in the air, the sword, I actually thought, this is gonna sound crazy, but I actually thought that he might, stab him with the sword or something, but that doesn't seem like something he would do. And he didn't do it. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. You told the police you ran away after Leaford was stabbed by his sword. The battery ran out, plus the glider flew Leaford so far away that there was no possible way I could reach him, even if I knew where he went. I could tell my hearing started to improve when I heard the impalement, but that was probably because it was really loud. I finally found the police, and the ringing subsided to the point where I could actually understand other people. I was about to tell the cops where I last saw Spider-Man, but then he walked right up to us, holding the body of Gwen Stacy. And to conclude, will you be working for E1 News if or when they rebuild their facilities? No. With the growing popularity of internet blogs and social media sites, citizen journalism is where it's at. Care to elaborate? Yeah, it's basically citizens collecting valuable and unbiased information and just reporting the news. People going to ordinary blogs, independently owned and ran by ordinary individuals for the truth. That is the future. Well, I hope it cleans itself up by then. What do you mean? I've seen a handful of independent blogs who claim to have the truth. And really, it's just the run-of-the-mill. Dinosaurs lived with people, the earth is flat, and the government is lying about it. Reptilians trying to give us healthcare, the Illuminati, a secret strategic enforcement directorate, and the end of the world. And I'm sure in a couple of weeks that last one will have promising results. Genuine fear for their lives because they discovered mermaids is something that'll never happen. It's safe, more like a baby's first conspiracy theory, only they never grow up. Their methods never improve, and they hardly ever check their articles and trace them back to the source. When there actually is, a conspiracy theory of some sort, and there's some truth and merit to it, no one believes it because all the other crappy ones filled up the blogosphere. The thing about the blogosphere is they do have an agenda, even if they don't know they're pushing it. If they'll lie to themselves, I suspect the amount of honesty will be reciprocated. Well, yeah, but I don't think they can do enough to really damage anything, probably annoy some people. But they do have influence, and the potential for misinformation is much, much greater in this format. You have articles citing articles, linking articles, linking articles, linking articles. It's a long chain that most people are not willing to check. You have information getting dumbed down more and more to the point where it can be interpreted to mean anything that you want. That's the problem I have, Mr. Reeves. Bias and misinformation. Yet here you are, working for the Bugle. Did you forget about their fear-mongering campaign against Spider-Man? And only against Spider-Man? The Bugle has experience. It doesn't take that much experience to lie, especially if you're going to be this bad at it. Hey, listen, no matter how unbiased you think you are when you're reporting the news, there will always be someone who will tell you the opposite. As for the Bugle's campaign, I don't know Spider-Man all that well. I can respect his choice, I guess, but I know deep down some of his vigilante actions are not the most legal. As for the mass populace, you can report on something that's happening right in front of them, and there will always be someone out there who will tell you it's staged or fake. They're too scared of the implications of what they're seeing. That's fine. Fear is a normal human emotion, but in the end, their feelings, negative, positive, even neutral, are irrelevant to reality. The truth, Mr. Reeves, simply does not care. What should I do if I encounter some of that on my blog? Cover your ass when it is staged and fake. Hey there. You wouldn't happen to have seen my spider tracer anywhere, have you? Well, it seems you've become very well acquainted with it. Thank goodness I included gloves in my costume design. Good afternoon, Miles. I was hoping you would stop by. The last time we spoke, it wasn't on the best of terms, and I also feel partially responsible for what happened to you. Are you the dean? No. Then you're not responsible. He and the others have the final say on the matter. It's irrelevant whether or not you or Gwen preferred a firm slap on the wrist as opposed to the structure of my career as an educator. Just for the record, I'm still disgusted by what you did. The urge or the attempt, the latter. Well, I'm glad we've come to a semblance of an agreement.
Don't ruin it. Just thinking about you advancing towards her is making my skin crawl.
If you don't mind me asking, do you think I did it? Not the inappropriate advancements, but the murder. What? No, it's okay. I would have probably thought the same. I was very distraught when I heard the news. Such a waste. She had such a bright future ahead of her. And even if she didn't. Well, as I said, I was hoping you would arrive. Did you get my message? Yes, we know you took it. We also know that our fates are now tied with this creature thanks to you. And here you are. It's downstairs in my lab right now. I imagine you want to see it. Just follow me. Martha, get on my left side.
Why?
You know why. The powers that be who sought this creature out will do anything in their power to have it back in their custody. For what purpose? Isn't that the question of the day? I don't really know, but you can tell how badly someone wants something by the number of rules they break to get it. The list of people I can trust is very, very short. Among colleagues, it's around 0. And I'll try to build it back up again.
So you forced a bound of trust between the three of us. You were right, Kurt.
Forced? No, I was trying to save the creature, and I succeeded. That day in the lab, the last time we spoke, that wasn't my last day on the campus. That was my last day as an instructor, as a teacher. My last day was actually last night. I still had to move out all my stuff, make sure all the papers were in order. This led all the way into the night. Then the power went out. I couldn't just leave it there. What about the other animals? I was trying to save them. Can you imagine if the symbiote got into contact with one of the animals? You'd have a bigger mess in your hands than the one that you have right now. All thanks to me. Thanks, Miles, but, as you said, this thing is too dangerous to keep around.
It's fairly secure. Are you suggesting killing it? I'm suggesting cutting our fates loose of this burden. It's not just an organism of this planet. What do you mean it's alien? An extraterrestrial? My hypothesis was correct. Yes, it was the shuttle crash. The shuttle crash. When they were mining asteroids, it was able to survive. You told me this creature had amazing abilities, but I had no idea. What do you need from us, Miles? Our silence? Our word? No, the opposite. Your research notes, data. Well, I need those for the research paper me and my wife are writing. That's good. We can all do this together. Do what together? Well, certainly more than a couple of research papers. A couple of papers. Do you know the significance of what we already discovered? We've advanced the research pool so much more because of what we've done. Hopefully we can get it published in a journal, perhaps some recognition from others who may be curious about this field, gain public support, and pique the interest of those who might one day hold the answer to finish what we started.
And when will that day be, Kurt? Years? Decades? Even dare I suggest centuries? A day you don't know you'll even see? A day much beyond our time? Hopefully, maybe, perhaps, might... Doesn't matter whether or not I'll see the day. I know I planted the seeds for this issue. I know it will happen without me seeing it happen. I am so sick of this ever-elusive promised land. I want to see the fruits of my labor, of our labor, not some flimsy promise of a hypothetical future that we will never see, a future that might not even happen. What if, dare I suggest, our civilization collapses before this problem can even be solved? Hell, all this stalling bureaucracy that stuck its finger in every facet of our lives could be our very downfall. All this talk about the ethical, moral implications of cloning human tissue, of finding out where our intellect actually comes from, the meaning behind it all, or lack thereof. What about the moral, ethical issue of letting us continue to struggle because we're afraid of not the solution, but the implication that there's a problem with us?
Let go of my arm, Miles. What arm? There's nothing. You thought you could make a difference once for a future that you might not see in some war-torn country. And look!
Do you really want that day to come, and you're 6 feet under, and nothing but a skeleton that doesn't even have a right arm?
Picture it, Kurt. That is the only outcome if we kill this creature. That is your promised land. At least you or I won't see the fruits of our failure.
I could hardly call
All
it.
those things they can do.
Kurt?
Stark. Richards. Banner. Still not a man who can get his arm back. Still not a way to make the pain go away.
You think some of them got that way by not taking advantage of the resources available to them. They got it by testing their limits, pushing themselves as far as they can go, and in some instances, pure luck. Do you want that arm more than Tony Stark wants a suit?
It's not just about me, though. There are people out there who have it way worse than me. Not just arms or legs, but degenerative diseases, even cancer. True, very true, but it can start with you. Most people believe that the promised land is not made for the forerunner to witness and gaze upon with his own eyes, but to that I say nay. We have to see it.
What makes us so entitled above anyone else?
Because we have to know it's there, just like they have to know it's there. We're not entitled above anyone else, but we're one of the few people who can do it. What are you planning on doing, Miles? I'm putting a small team together, composed of you, your wife, me, and one other person. Well, what about Peter? He contributed to this as well. Without him, we wouldn't even have the alien. He was one of my best students, but he's too young. His place is at school for now. This is not a university venture. This is something a bit less restraining. Okay, but who's this fourth person? The one person who has more experience with this particular type of science than anyone, not including the occupants of this laboratory, of course. What would you call this specific type of science? I like to phrase it cross-species genetics. Wow. This is very promising. The Hardy Foundation? They are very interested in the work we've done so far. How will they distribute the finished product? When? How will they pay for all the equipment and time spent there? All paid for if we agree. They'll distribute the product to local hospitals, corporations, VA hospitals. They have its best interest in mind. Mariah Cray.
Right, Kravinoff. You do realize she doesn't live in the country anymore. Correct. Which is why, if she can't come here, we'll have to go to her. Yeah, that definitely does sound promising. But 2 weeks, that usually doesn't bode too well. I was only joking. Well, good luck, Doc. I hope you make a lot of progress. Bye.
So, Tori Spelling's mother tried to buy my father's penthouse.
Whoa. Not the famous Tori Spelling?
Yeah, except it was her mother, Candy Cane Spelling.
Carol Spelling? Did you put in a good word for me? You know she's currently producing a Broadway play.
Oh Christ, she wouldn't shut up about her freaking play. Her family owned all of television, and you could fit like half the population of China in her pantry. But she wouldn't stop talking about her damn play.
Well, why didn't you put in a good word for me and try to sweeten the deal?
I'm not going to barter my girlfriend's career and my late father's penthouse with Tori Spelling's mother. That statement is weird enough as it is. Also, I don't want you to get involved with nepotism. Hey, this is way different.
Nepotism is the only way anyone gets anywhere nowadays.
Yeah, it's how people who can't act or sing get places. You can only get a person so far before people realize someone's an untalented hack. Some longer than others. You're talented. You don't need to have the same last name as some lead drummer for some washed-up band from 30 years ago to tell me that. Or anyone for that matter. Genuine talent grows on its own and lasts even longer.
Mr. Osborne, Peter Parker is here.
Thanks. Next time, just let him in.
Morning, Mr. Osborne.
God, that sounds so weird. My dad has become synonymous with Mr. Osborne. He had no other title. That was pretty much his name. It feels like I'm taking something that's not even mine. When someone calls me Mr. Osborne, I don't instinctively make the connection that they're referring to me. Just a ghost. This whole office feels haunted, to be honest.
Well, you're taking over bigger things than just a title.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, MJ.
So, how you holding up?
Not gonna lie, it's been a little rough, but it made me appreciate what I still have. I appreciate you guys being there for me. I really do. You and Gwen would have gotten along great.
Yeah. We were already hitting off pretty well that night. Really wish I got to know her better. Oh, my rehearsal starts in 30 minutes. I have to go. Bye, Harry. Bye, Pete.
Bye. Did she leave because that was really awkward, or...?
No, she really had a rehearsal to get to. We lost track of time. And I really liked the view of her on my desk.
Oh my god, Harry.
Pulling it back. There's actually something that I wanted to talk to you about. Just between us.
Go ahead.
I hate to keep bringing that night up, but I've been replaying the events over and over again in my head. There's something that's been bothering me, and if I don't let it out now, it's gonna drive me crazy later. You remember after Gwen's dad and my dad got into that little argument?
I can hardly call it little, but yes.
We were having this debate on who should go and talk to my dad, you or me. I convinced you to go. You got the one thing I hated at the time, but now the one thing I want more than anything else. You were the last person to talk to my dad before he died.
Harry, you couldn't have known.
But one shouldn't have unfinished business with the people they're supposed to care about. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Trust me, I know that regret. There are only so many things a father can prepare for his child.
Fair enough. I guess the only thing my dad prepared me for was this. The suit, the office, and all those damn documents. Neither the goodbye nor the reconciliation. So much could have been said, left in silence forever. Made all the more worse by the fact that what was said wasn't kind.
What do you mean?
So you didn't hear it. When you left to go talk to my dad, I said to myself I didn't want him to return. It wasn't my face he didn't want to see, it was his face I didn't want to see. You're wrong, Pete. You can change things just by wishing for them. Not in the ways you'd expect, but here we are. Here I am. I'd like to know what he told you, though. I could use the closure.
Okay. Well, he was surprised that I came in, and you didn't. He apologized for his behavior, and he brought up that job offer at Oscorp.
Job offer?
The one he gave me after graduation a couple of years ago. I declined the offer.
Why?
Come on, Harry, your company wasn't in the best state at the time.
That time is now, and I'm trying to fix it.
I get that. I just wanted to be open to more possibilities than Oscorp.
What else did he say?
He believed in you. He trusted you with his company and all the responsibility that this position holds.
You know, I can't help but feel you're telling me things I want to hear, and not necessarily the truth.
If you don't believe me, then it's not really something you want to hear. You want me to tell you that he secretly hated your guts, but he didn't. It's how he really felt. He just didn't know how to express it. No, he knew how to express it, but if he didn't believe in you, then that, what's his name? Dr. Strom, he wouldn't have been next in line.
He was, and he's been dead for 2 years.
Oh.
He was old. It would have been passed down to me sooner or later, and once again, here we are. I'll take your word for it. Now, if you don't mind telling me, how did my father die?
Didn't the authorities tell you what happened?
Yeah, they gave me an official story, but I played the events in my head again and again, and something's just not adding up. After I found my dad's body, I alerted the firemen. I was so overcome with shock, I just ran into my dad's office. I spotted something still smoldering from Leifrit's attack. My dad's bookshelf. I saw something underneath a burning book. I couldn't believe what it was, so I had to make sure.
What did you see?
A web. Too large for any common spider to weave. You can see where this is going.
No.
They say my dad was stabbed by the Green Goblin, but I saw that video of Spider-Man holding the same sword. No one else saw or reported a sighting of the guy when the Green Goblin attacked the penthouse. They saw the Green Goblin, but not Spider-Man, and yet there's a huge freaking web strand in my dad's office. Did Spider-Man kill my father?
What?
Did he? Everywhere I turn, it seems like everyone's trying to cover for him. Please don't tell me you're going to do that too.
Why would I defend or accuse him?
Oh, come on. You've been the only one who's got a clear shot of him for the Bugle. Everyone else's attempts were blurry, but not yours. All of them perfect shots. Picture after picture after picture. After a while, a pattern starts to emerge. You know this guy. He's like the other friend you never want to talk about.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah?
You tried milking this info out of me yesterday morning. All you got was what I dreamt about the night before and not confirmation for your conspiracy theory.
Wrong. I was trying to crack the surface. I wasn't going to just dive into questions like that. I had to take my time. Don't think because I'm asking you this doesn't mean I don't care. If I didn't, I wouldn't take as much care with sensitive matters such as this.
Okay, I know him, but not nearly enough to assign guilt. But let's assume he is. Why didn't they just use the webbing as evidence?
It was already dissolving by the time I told the authorities, and it caught fire when I picked up that book. The evidence was lost. They still collected some of the ash, but it was thrown out. It wasn't substantial enough. I played the events in my head over and over again. The dinner, the argument, the explosion, the goblin, my father's murder, his body, and the webbing. It's just... it doesn't add up. Someone isn't telling me something. I'd expect others to lie to me, but not you. Not about something like this.
I wouldn't.
Okay, then whose side are you on?
Oh, come on, Harry. I'm just as in the dark as you.
Well, then ask him.
Ask him if he murdered your father. That's gonna go over well. You want him to murder me too? If he's capable of that? What do you think he's gonna say?
I just want to know what happened. Why would you care if he's guilty or innocent? You're keeping something from me, and you're defending that freak!
Freak? You do know that freak saved your life, right?
Because of everything he can do, he'll never be normal. And I haven't forgotten about that instant. That was one of the most terrifying experiences I've ever been through. I mean, it didn't help that I was a little hungover, but still. When I woke up, in this very building no less, the first thing I saw was my dad's face. My rescue was done in congruence with my father's efforts. Spider-Man helped, but he wouldn't have gotten that far without his resources. At least that's what my dad told me. I don't like the look of any of this, Pete, and I just want a straight answer.
Okay. The Green Goblin attacked the penthouse, and I ran.
You just left my father there?
I'm sorry. What was I supposed to do? When I left, everyone else was gone.
We tried getting to you, but the debris blocked our path. It's funny how you glorify a so-called hero for years, but didn't bother to pick up a few tips on being one.
Mr. Osborne.
Wilson. Is it time for the meeting already?
No, that time has passed. You're late.
We're late.
Me tardy? They sent me to look for you. You. I remember you. Me? You saved my life. Oh, jeez. Yes! How long ago was it? 2, 3 years ago? That blast from the Hobgoblin's bombs would have surely ended me. It It was no big deal. Nonsense! I owe you my sincerest gratitude. I should have returned the favor sooner. Not too many people would have stuck their necks out for someone with a reputation like mine. You are a true hero. Anything you need, just let me know. No thanks, it's really not necessary. No, I insist.
Wilson, we really should be going. You know the way out, Pete.
Remember, just let me know.
Hello?
Peter,
Doc. Hey,
I
how's it?
need you to go to the lab. Now. This is very important, Peter.
Did you forget something?
Peter, get to the lab immediately.
Doc. Dr. Connors. What the hell? Dr. Connors, you alright? What are you doing back here? I don't have access to the lab. I don't have the key on me. Look, Peter, you're gonna have to trust me. We don't have a lot of time, and the only person that can help me. I can't help you if I don't know what's going on. So I take it the experiment was a success? Get the equipment ready. The lab experiment went horribly wrong. The regeneration experiment is in my system right now, and the damages are beyond my expectations. What are they? I don't remember. I can't help you if you don't remember. I have sparse memories, flashes. I don't know if they're real, but if they are, you, me, and a whole lot of other people are in a lot of danger. The formula has an unpredictable effect on my biology. There is some sort of metamorphosis happening. I mean, I have my arm back, but there's still something horribly wrong here. When this effect happens, I black out and I wake up somewhere else completely naked with a path of destruction behind me. And I dare not follow it to its origin because I fear what lies ahead of it. But now, I have an answer. This flash drive? I think I can mitigate the effects from here with your help, but I don't think I can cure it. This might hold the answer. Why would you think the flash drive has anything on it? Well, because this is gonna sound a little weird, but I just passed. Doc, you okay? It's just strain in my arm. Oh my god, Doc! It's okay, I got you. Doc, what the hell am I doing? It's okay. Just come back to the lab.